The views and opinions of this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers. There is substantial risk of loss in trading futures and options, which you should carefully consider prior to trading. And joining us now for a conversation here at NAFB Trade Talk in Kansas City, let's catch up with the folks at LG Seeds, Agronomy Division Manager for LG Seeds from Central Iowa. Dave Hoy is with us here today. Dave, it's good to see you, sir. How are you?
I'm really good. Loving this. Really enjoying being here, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we've talked many times before, and, I know we talked earlier as we really just started to get going with harvest, kind of late season. We were thinking yields were going to be really good, especially in your neck of the woods in Central Iowa. So how did we finish up? Let's start there.
Great question, because we did have so much yield potential right when we were talking last time. And then the old faucet shut off and we ran out of a little rain. And what that does, it just doesn't allow those roots to take up the nutrients. But also we had some of those hot nights, and that really shut that plant down and cooked it a little faster, and yields were off just a little bit. Now, I will say this, as you move north into Iowa, those yields actually improved. And on the northern edge, we had some tremendous yields up there. But as you move south in Iowa, yields were a little off. And I attribute that to the lack of rain and those hot summer nights.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting how, you go all across the Midwest, all the different disease, pest threats, and more that were out there, everything from southern rust to rootworm to you name it. It seemed like there was pockets. One area had really tough issues, and then you go a few miles down the road and they didn't have it as bad. I mean, it was a year of variability, I guess is what I would say.
It really was. And you could definitely tell those farmers out there that had a proactive plan, and especially as we talk about southern rust or tar spot, those farmers that had that proactive plan, that saw those digital models and saw it coming in and applied fungicide not once but twice even, they had really good results out of that and helped mitigate that risk that was out there.
Thinking ahead to next year, what can they take away from this growing season and really the past couple? I think you have to look at an aggregate of data, I almost feel like, because 2025 was such an anomaly, a very, variability and different things that we hadn't seen in certain areas. So how do we fine tune that plan for 2026 as we're thinking about things, making seed decisions now, et cetera, et cetera?
Absolutely. The biggest thing, communication is key. Making sure you have that trusted advisor out there that you can talk to, bounce ideas off, and get ideas from. But making a plan is the number one thing, especially as you look at the seed decisions, making sure you have that seed plan in place. Get that right product on the right acre. Talking to your trusted advisors to make sure that that particular hybrid is suited for the conditions of that field. Because, the lessons we've learned over the last few years are paramount to making sure we don't repeat those same, have those same experiences again in the future.
Thinking about this too, and this is something I've had conversations with your team about, seed diversity. I think that's going to be such a key as we move forward into 2026 and finding that right seed, in the right field and placing things correctly. And just, I think that's the benefit of the LG lineup, is that you guys have a diverse lineup of seed genetics that are out there and traits, et cetera, that can help put that right product where it needs to be.
Absolutely. Genetic diversity is one of the most important risk management factors that every farmer has. And with LG Seeds, we have such a powerhouse research behind us with GDM and AgriLiant, the former AgriLiant. But, by planting a mix of hybrids out there, you really help mitigate the risk, not only of disease and pests, but weather events as well. And making sure you actually spread that maturity. So you have different genetic packages and different maturities. It helps offset, any issues that have at harvest timing or pollination or even late season weather events.
How can an agronomist such as yourself help out, not only during the growing season, but during the winter months as you're making decisions, et cetera? I know you guys could help really in many ways all year round.
Absolutely. LG Seeds agronomists are the experts of those hybrids that they sell. And communication is key, and having a collaborative effort with your agronomist, going out there and making sure you do have those products placed perfectly so that they have the utmost chance of success. And also being in communication with your agronomist, whether, our agronomists use so many digital tools, you can even have drone imagery that they can help you interpret all that stuff, but getting on their Snapchat threads or text threads, just making sure you're in constant contact and get that collaborative effort going, you really have the opportunity to know what's going on in real time.
What are those products in the LG lineup you're excited about going into next year?
As I look at all the we just harvested, and I look at all the new experimental stuff coming out there, and I'm so excited about the high yield potential we have, the great defensive packages we have. Two products that I'm really excited about. Number one is more of an earlier one for the north, but it's LG 48C57 Duracate Viptera. Really brings in some really nice tar spot tolerance with a great defensive package. And it also has tremendously high yield potential. The other one is this new LG 60C24 VT4. Brand new technology in the trait, really brings a nice level of trait insect resistance along with some herbicide tolerance. But man, that high-end yield potential is next level, especially for those farmers in the Midwest that can utilize that 110-day product.
Final thoughts as we close out our conversation here at Trade Talk. What would you reiterate to growers? What would you remind them of as they're thinking about all the decisions for 2026 and the LG Seeds lineup? What would you tell folks?
At the end of the day, consistency is the most important thing. Consistency in what you're doing, consistency in the products you choose, consistency in the expectations you have for each field. Just making sure you have a plan for each field, and you can always go out and try and hit a home run on a few products, but boy, that consistency out there for return on investment, that's what pays the bills. And I'd ask everybody, just keep in mind, consistency is what pays the bills.
LGseeds.com if they want more information, or contacting their local representative, right, Dave?
Absolutely. Always there.
LGseeds.com for more. Dave Hoy, Agronomy Division Manager for LG Seeds. Good to see you here in Kansas City. Thanks for joining us at Trade Talk.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it.
Make sure to subscribe to the Market Talk YouTube channel. You can watch our latest interviews with top market analysts in the country, find bonus content, and much more. It's easy. Just go to youtube.com/@MarketTalkAg and hit the subscribe button. Or you can search for Market Talk Ag on YouTube.